Many liberals will criticize this. Look to your Herald leader tomorrow for a column about how 20 people showed up at the courthouse. I am the mainstream media. We've got Karen Czar. We don't need the mainstream media. Many liberals will call us flat earthers, and I think there'll be something like this in the newspaper tomorrow. All those flat earthers gathered around at the courthouse yesterday, hostile to the size of government. But as a productive citizen myself, and I know I'm joined by many of you.
We haven't seen hostile yet.
That's right, brother. This is better than doing the show. Can we just do this every day from 9 to noon? Right, it's a lot more interactive, you know what I mean? You guys have to get past Aaron to talk to us on this. As a productive citizen who has now become responsible for funding government programs that make the idea of excellence secondary to making sure that everybody gets an equal piece of the pie, whether the program works or not, programs that encourage dependence as more honorable than independence, and programs that seek to make individuals subservient to the collective, I have a list of grievances. Yeah. I narrowed it down because normally they put me in this room and they say you have from 9 till noon. And so I could just go. And you guys got anything else to do today? Okay, I'm just making sure. Now, I have 5 grievances. I narrowed this down. Number 1, grievance number 1, and I hope I speak for all of you here today. Grievance number 1, government has devalued our currency, thereby lowering the value of the proceeds of our work. Grievance number 2, government has inserted itself unconstitutionally into the free market, reducing the efficiency and the effectiveness of our capital investments. Grievance number 3, government continues the process of creating a welfare state in which the average citizen is becoming more and more dependent upon that state for their livelihood and thereby for their rights. And self-sufficiency is becoming more difficult and expensive. Grievance number 4, government has placed upon the people an unbearable burden of taxation and debt, and is using that money to bail out companies that have failed in their purpose, thereby glorifying failure and punishing success. Grievance number 5, government has increased its size, its scale, its power, and its spending exponentially, causing roadblocks to our success. And so I have a message for Lexington City Hall. I know you guys are with me when I say this. We have a message for Frankfurt. I know you're with me when I say this. We have a message for Washington. Fear this! How many of you guys are familiar with the 90% tax increase they passed on AIG? I know we're not all big fans of AIG here, but it's unconstitutional. And we live in a world where our government feels like it's okay to pass by principle for the sake of expedience, and we're here to tell them that is not okay, it is not acceptable, and we're going to stop it. We have 2 petitions for you to sign today at our booth. One of them is a petition which I'll tell you about in a second. The other one's kind of funny. It's kind of sarcastic. I don't really mean this, but then I sort of do. How many of you guys know that 5 days before he took the oath of office, President Obama got a $500,000 pre-bonus for a children's book he's going to read? See Obama run. That sounds like a bonus to me. So I got a petition. Let's tax it at 90%. And let's tax the congressman at 90%. And let's tax us at 5%. Because we got to keep, infrastructure and roads and stuff. And the children, it's for the children, yeah. All 4 Republicans in the House of Representatives from the state of Kentucky stepped on the Constitution this week. We knew what Ben Chandler would do, and we knew what John Yarmouth would do, but those of us that have been conservative for a long time were a little surprised that Jeff Davis, Ed Whitfield, Brett Guthrie, and Hal Rogers stepped on the Constitution when they said it was okay to pass a 90% punitive tax on a private company and people who have not been accused or convicted of a crime. So I'm going to ask you to call them and register your support and tell them, fear this! Now, I also would like you guys to support, there's a new bill that just came up, and this is House Resolution 450. This is Congressman John Shadig out of the state of Arizona, which I spent some of my growing up years in, and we have a little bit of common sense there still. This is House Resolution 450 will require Congress to specifically specify in every piece of legislation that they pass from here on forward why that legislation is constitutional. It's H.R. 450. Call your congressman. Tell him you want it. Now, I loved listening to Kent Masterson Brown speak earlier. Really thrilled my heart, and the reaction from you guys and the way we've been together today was awesome. And Kent Masterson Brown is ready. And I know that I am ready. And I know that all of our speakers up here are ready. Are you ready to take this back? So we've got some boxes full of tea bags around as well, and I hope that you've dropped a few in, because I notified the governor's office day before yesterday that personally I'll be delivering the tea bags that you brought to the tea party today to his office next week. And with it, we're going to drop off the petition that demands that Governor Steve Beshear demand that the federal government cease and desist any spending and programs which are not specifically authorized by the Constitution, and refuse any and all funding from the American Recovery and Reinvestment, a.k.a. Generational Theft Act. Refuse it. Say no. And while you're at it, systematically begin to reduce the size of government, because we don't need your help. Yes! USA! 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 Yeah! I was praying somebody would give me a Howard Dean moment. Yeah! Always wanted to do that. See, I'm not running for office, though, so it's all good. It's time for this to stop. We're a nation that is founded on principles. And those principles are pretty easy to spell out. It's freedom, folks. It's just simple. It's one word. It's freedom. And it encompasses an awful lot of wonderful things that we remember throughout our history. Somewhere along the way, we've forgotten that this freedom, which is earned by the hard-fought battles and the blood of our soldiers. Yeah. Folks, there are a lot of veterans here today. Could we please give them a hand? Can I hit the pause button for a second? This is important. I'll finish it in a second, but I got to say, Mario came up here and gave you guys a poem earlier. Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys know who Mario is. But Mario is a patriot. Mario is a member of a group that when we had these crazy people going around, when our troops would come home without their life, having given the greatest sacrifice, they would come home and these people would protest their burial and their funerals. Mario was a member of a group that peacefully protected our soldiers' dignity and grace in death. God bless the Patriot Guard.